to another episode of Raging Out in Clash. My name is Jen, and I'm here with the amazingly awesome SK.
Hello.
And what have we got for you today? We're going to try for a short one today. We've got a few events that we're going to talk about. We've got our wars that we're going to talk about. I thought that we could kind of go over some of the troops that we like using, troops/armies that we like using, and troops that we dislike using, or armies that we dislike using. And then at the end, you might have a Can't Fix Stupid, and if we don't have that, then we will talk about our little ones for a little
Well, we should talk about our little ones anyway. We should give an update on our experiment. And you totally forgot the other thing, huh?
Oh, there's some kind of video that you always say I should watch, so we're going to watch that.
Don't roll your eyes. Yes, so, but before we get into all of that, my question to you is, did you buy both hero skins?
No, I have not. I'm still on the fence. I don't want to do it because it's $13.99 plus tax. So that's at least another $1.50 added onto there. So that's $14.50 or $15.50. So that's $21.
Is that for both?
That's $31 for two things that I can't physically touch with my hands or do anything with. $31.
Yeah, but you buy the season pass.
Exactly, and I get something from that. I get nothing from these skins.
Well, you're still buying virtual, intangible goods.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
Well, you're not that long to go. You better slide off the fence in one way or another.
I know.
Have you bought the Barb King one?
No, I haven't bought any of them.
Have you bought the Queen? Because that's the one that you were, like, kicking yourself over.
I know, but there's no guarantee that they're going to come out with the champion skin again. And that's the one I really wanted. Like, when that one came out, that's why I wish I would have gotten the Lunar Queen, was because I really wanted that skin. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I saw that you'd bought the statue already.
Yes, I bought that one, and I can't remember what came with that. Was it
some sort of pack? Did you buy a pack?
I bought two. There was one that was $6.99, I think, and one that was $3.99. I got a book of everything, I know, and I got the statue, and I think a builder potion, I want to say, with some gold, maybe? So, yeah.
I haven't bought anything yet. It's not that I'm on the fence, but I am about the scenery, but the other ones, you know. It's just because I don't know. I don't gain anything at waiting. I just like to wait until the very end. I don't know. It's just me. I like to risk it and not get it, which sometimes happens to me. But yeah, I've not bought anything.
Obviously, with these warrior skins, they're going to come out with the warden, and they're going to come out with the champion eventually. So, I don't know. I'm like, that's another $31.50. I don't know. I don't know.
Was the Lunar Queen, is she the same price as she was before? Okay. So it's good to know that it's not depreciated.
No, they kept it the same. I saw in the forums, I think they were talking about it, and no, it's the same price.
Okay. So I just wanted to know whether you'd bought it or not. And what shall we talk about next? Shall we talk about...
How about we talk about the events next, and how that's going?
Don't make that face at me, Jen. So, but can I just say that there's even more offers, weren't there? Weren't there more offers? At one point, very.
Yeah, there were. I think there was about 4 other offers, and it wasn't, for me, it wasn't anything worth a value because it didn't have a hero book. And right now, that's about the only thing that I would consider purchasing, because the sooner I get my heroes to max, the better. But I mean, for training books and any other kind of book, other than the Book of Everything, obviously, it's not, like, it would have to be one hell of a deal. So I'm just not interested in anything like that right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I obviously have not bought anything because I don't need anything. So there's 2 events going on right now. There is the Super Wizard event and the Ice Hound event, both for 400 XP, and you get 1 measly training potion and 1 measly power potion. That's a power potion, right? I can't remember what they look like yet. That is a power potion. For these events, of which you have to do 12. So again, they've upped it back up to 12.
And you don't even get any gems.
It used to be 10 for it was 10 for the whatever the last events were, weren't they? So upped it again. You don't really get much, but alright. And it's not for a very long period of time. I think the event only lasted for like 3, maybe 3.5 or 4 days, maybe?
4 days.
4 days. So, and considering, a lot of people may have already chosen some before the event came out, you're halfway through, you have to wait. And some people, I mean, obviously they've made it 4 days so that you would have that 1 day sort of buffer in case you had actually just chosen some super troops. You'd have to cram it all in a day.
Right.
But, 1 day, 12 attacks, depends how active you are, I guess. But for me, I'm like, 12 attacks is quite a lot for not very much, Some people might be doing it for the XP, some people might not be. But I think we discussed this, and you unlock the Super Wizards, of which I haven't because I was strongly encouraged to get the Super Minions for our War CCs.
Well, we need them for our War CCs. And until we have a Town Hall 12 in the clan, it's you and I having to either rotate between the Super Minions, or you get them and you can't use any other Super Tubes.
Okay, so how are you getting along with those Super Wizards?
I actually haven't done any attacks. Unlike you, I know that you have done probably upwards of about maybe 10 or 12 attacks.
Not 12.
Well, definitely 10. So
maybe about 8.
I'm curious. How many wins do you have out of 12?
What do you mean out of 12? We just confirmed that it's around about 8 attacks. I've had 8 sets of CCs.
You're at 10. You're at least at 10.
No way.
Yes,
so
yes,
obviously I'm requesting the CC Super Wizards in order to do this event because I've not unlocked them myself, so I've been relying on you to provide them.
I filled your CC at least 5 times today, and I know that I filled it 5 times yesterday.
Not 5 times today. Not 5 times today.
At least 5 times today. So how many? Okay, how many out of 10 do you have?
1. And can I just say that 1 star was the first time I used them, and I didn't use the plan that I'm using now. So I used them in an actual hit. But then I remembered that, you can do the sort of blizzardy blimp wizard thing with the invisibility and the rage and whatnot to blimp to the town hall and zap it and, basically just snipe the town hall. So I thought, okay, let's try that. And it's not been going well, shall we say. uh, because, okay, there's so many things that, I've never used it ever, really. So, this is really me on my learning curve, okay? So, granted, you've given me a few shots. I think at one point, I forgot that, you have to not put the blimp where the sweeper is, because then it's just gonna die, and then the wizard's gonna come out at the right place. And then other times you forget that you have to put your warden in, but then you also have to activate the ability before it leaves the warden's radius, otherwise screw your warden and your blimp dies anyway. And then while you're thinking about this, you're also thinking about, okay, I also have to, make sure I get my invisibility spell ready, and don't accidentally press the blimp again because it just opens up. So I've had the blimp opening up accidentally. I've had missed the warden, as in I've put the warden down, I put the blimp down, oh crap, the blimp's out the radius, so what's the point of the warden? I've had the blimp going, I've got the warden down, activity, the force invincibility thing activated, it's going fine, but then the sweeper gets it, so it's not fine, and it, disappears somewhere. And then I've gone in with, like, invisible spells, but no rage, so they still die. I've also had, what have I had? I've also accidentally made the town hall invisible, so they shut everything but the town hall. And then sometimes they just die. Just saying. Sometimes they just die. So it's not going well. And I cannot, it doesn't matter what I do, it just doesn't work. And, I'm thinking, ugh. So.
Okay, so let's just clear this up, though. You're just using the blimp, and you're just using the warden. You're not using any army troops, nothing, just the invisibility spell, the blimp, and the warden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think is possible if, I had any ounce of skill.
1 out of 10 tries, apparently.
No, that one was when I wasn't trying that.
Oh. So 0 out of 9.
Oh yeah. So sometimes I'll get everything going, but then the traps get you and whatnot. So yeah, no, I feel kind of bad, not bad, about using all your wizards and your blimps and actually not having anything to show for it. But yeah, so I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. I've still got 11 hits to go. But yeah, I'm not using that anytime soon no more.
I was just going to say, if you look at number 1 in our current war, it would be perfect for the blizzard blimp.
Yeah, just in the core.
You're nowhere near trying that in war yet.
I don't know, Jen. I've watched a bajillion videos. I'm ready. I've got the knowledge through osmosis, and I can totally do it now. That's what people tell me. That's what people in our clan have said, that they've watched lots of videos and they're ready. So, have you done any of the ice hounds? I've not even.
I haven't done any of either, because in, I think, just under a day now, actually, yeah, in 2 hours, I can unlock the ice hounds, and I kind of wanted to wait for both, just because I don't want to have to do 24 attacks. So I'm going to use the 3 super wizards and the 1 ice hound in the same army, and get it all over with in one shot.
So you're not gonna try? Oh no, because I don't have wizards to give you. That's fine. Just know that, yeah, it's not working. So you still have to give me at least 11 more batches.
Oh, I think it'll be a lot more than that.
Hey. So, I mean, just on that, I guess, they produced a promotional video, I guess, on based on the events and whatnot. And you've not watched it, so I thought that you could watch it, during this
I'll do it
podcast,
right now.
and you can give us your commentary and your reaction.
All of a sudden, what's gonna happen? Oh, the builder got his house wrecked. And there's the ice hound. Oh, he's freezing the barbarian. Oh, he froze the hog. Oh. I don't know. See, I don't get the point of these.
What's happening? You have to tell us what's happening. No, you've zoned out, haven't you?
That's the end of this incredible story. That was me, that big weather super.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's, what, 30 seconds, a minute to watch something? But it's not something that interests me. That's why I never watch them. Any of them. I don't. Yeah. Just not interested in watching those.
It's just for fun.
Like I said,
But that was good commentary, Jen. Thank you for telling us what you were watching.
Well, it's hard for me to watch and understand what I'm watching if I'm talking at the same time. So it was just, yeah. The Legend of the Ice Hound. It, like I said, the titles, they are never, for me, it's never what the video is supposed to be or ends up being, and so it's just a waste of time. That's a minute and 30 seconds of my life that I cannot get back. So I don't ever watch them.
Okay. Fine. But they are just for a bit of fun. They're not,
Yeah, but that's not the kind of fun that I'm looking for, so that's why I said I don't even bother, because that's not fun for me.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it.
What did you think about it?
No, let's not talk about it.
Well, no, you obviously watched it and you liked it, so let's talk about it.
Well, I never said I liked it, but, I thought we could have a discussion on it, and apparently not. I mean, I just thought it was interesting because I think that's the first time we've heard the villager talk, but, I mean, if you don't watch these things, then you can't tell me if you agree or not, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the wizard guy, his voice has been used before in other things. But it was just for a bit of fun, and yeah, I mean, it's a minute and a half, but I'm not gonna ask for that minute and a half back. There's other things that I don't like to watch, but that one was fine. Okay.
Okay. Our wars, plural, because we've had some doozies the last couple wars. The war that we had 4 days ago, so we've had a war 4 days ago, we've had a war 2 days ago, and then we're in the current war right now. The war that we had 4 days ago was a tough war. We were outmatched, and we ended up coming out with a win on that one. I thought we were going to lose that one. And we ended up winning that one. And then the last war, before this one that we're currently in, they were from, was it the French clan?
I can't remember. Are you not in game? You can check.
I think the last clan was French. And as soon as I saw the match, it's like, oh no, the French. And I've got nothing against the French, but every time we play the French, it always seems like they're really, really good, and it's just annoying. And we ended up getting outmatched again. I think my theory is because we have 4 Max Town Hall 11s in war, and the 11s that we match up with in war, they're not max, and that's, I think, why they're pulling it. Like, collectively, the 4 of them are pulling a Town Hall 12, or close to max Town Hall 12. So the match itself was difficult, and I think we were playing one guy. It was a 15v15, and
I think that happened for the last 2 wars.
Yeah, I'm quite positive it was just one guy. He seemed to have names like all of authority figures in comics, and because he had Asterix and Obelix, and because that's from that French cartoon, and like he had Hercules, he had like all of these kind of whatever. Don't look at me like that, but. It was obvious that it was the same guy, because all the names kind of had something to do with each other, and he used the same army for every single attack. And we'll get a little bit into his attack when we talk about attacks we don't like. And so he used this one specific attack for all of his accounts, crushed all of our bases, except for mine. Mine defended. And he ended up getting, what did he have on me? Did he have 79%, I think, on me?
Was it not 80-something?
Or he had
87%?
Did he have 87? He had 87 on me. And so I had I had 2 of my attacks left to do. And you hit number 1. I hit number 2. And my king was alive, and there was a scatter shot alive, and I still had the ability, and I was looking at how much percent was left, and I'm like, oh man, it's going to come down to percent. So I held on to my ability as long as I could. My king was beaten on a wall. There was nothing hitting him. He got through the wall. I ended up dropping a clutch wizard behind my warden. So my warden was tanking, and the wizard ended up getting a wizard tower, just getting a couple extra percent, and I ended up getting, I think, a 91 on him. So I beat him by 4%. And then you crushed number 1, and then I used my second attack on number 1, and 99% time failed, which was grr. And they ended up not clearing my base. They had one more attack. Their number 2 had his attack left. And the thing with this clan was they all used all of their attacks within like the first 3 or 4 hours of war. So we saw them 3-star after 3-star after 3-star, and then they started looting. They had all of their little Town Hall 7s, 8s, and 9s hitting our one Town Hall 11 because he had a Town Hall that was right at the edge. And they all looted. Every single one of his accounts was looting. And so right away, that ticked me off, because I couldn't even wait till the end of war, but right away they thought they won and they were looting. And then their number 2 was the only one with an attack left. And
number 2 put down his warden after his first attack.
I was going to say, after he did his first attack, he put down his warden. So I was thinking, okay, he's going to wait until his ward. I didn't realize that he had used it for his first attack, because he had dipped Town Hall 13 and hit a Town Hall 11. So I didn't realize he had it for his first one. So I was thinking, okay, he's just going to wait until his warden's up. But lo and behold, he did not gem his warden. He went in on my base thinking he was going to crush it, and he ended up with like a 56% 2-star. So it's like, denied. And we ended up winning the war by 4% because we did better on them. And you know, it was just, It was good because I was, like I said, I was so mad because they started looting. And I think that's why I don't like the French. They do stuff like that.
That just painting them with a broad brush there, but
Yeah.
yeah, generally that's the clans that we faced that have been sort of one man clanish, and looters tend to be somehow manages to be the French, but to their credit, they are very good attackers as well.
Were they? No.
Well, no, not just that one clan that we just faced, but the other clans that we faced that have been French tend to be generally quite good at attacking as well. But yeah, I mean, I think it was good because they also had the streak, so we stole the streak.
That was the other thing with the clan that we faced 4 days ago. They were on a 12 or 13 more win streak as well. Like, we've been, the last 2 or 3 wars, we've been facing clans that have had war streaks. So it was like tough matches we knew going in because of what they had, and we came out on top.
Yeah, but like by the skin of our teeth, we would just say
Yeah.
we by no means crushed them, but I'm just, at some points it was very much touch and go, and particularly like this war, there was no guarantee I was gonna 3-star number 1. These are max Town Hall 13s.
Yeah, well, this war, I mean, they've already hit your base for 2 stars, and that was only their number 2. I really don't think we're going to win this war. I mean, obviously, I'm going to try, and I try every war, but I only have so many 3 stars in my bag of tricks, and I'm running out of power potions and hero potions.
Well, get to it, because you're my backup.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm going to need some more after this war, because I don't have any more power potions left after this war if I use it.
I mean, it is... You and I discussed this last war, which was, it wouldn't have been too bad if we tied. In the last war, because it was basically, we were wondering whether they were just going to perfect war us, which, seemed viable, or whether, and the only way to mitigate a loss would be to also perfect war them. So, but therefore that's tie, and that would just end your war streak. But it would be a not so bad way to end it and not have the extra pressure of keeping the streak up and whatnot. So if you think we're gonna have a loss, then what how many we're on? We're number 15, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're ages away from getting a red one out.
I know.
So that's gonna be rough. But yeah, so I don't know. You're just gonna have to get these 3 stars, yeah. I mean, which one? What are your thoughts on 1 and 2?
I think that you will crush number 1, and I think
Why?
I can crush number 2. I think number 2 is a good base for the army that I use if we can get a couple scouts. But one of us is going to have to hit number 3 as well, because that's a max Town Hall 12, and I don't think that our 11s can clear that. So.
Well, so we're already down 1 backup? So I don't... You and your war plan have told me to hit across. Is that what you want me to do?
No, I meant to say for you to hold 2, because I was going to say let's look at the top 3 and see what we have for 11s to scout.
Okay, do you think their number 1's going to hit me again?
I do, yeah.
Great.
But what did they use on you? Because remember, I was looking and number 2 had ground, everyone else had E-Dregs.
Yetis.
Yeah.
Yetis
this
and
guy
witches.
had
And
Yeti spam.
Yeah. Hey, I use Yetis.
Yeah, you don't spam though.
I might as well sometimes. Okay. I don't know. So, well, I'm gonna get hit by E-Drags next, is what you're telling me.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, joy. So you're thinking one of us is gonna have to hit number 3? Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
I vote me.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure if I can have a scout just to see where. I mean, I don't need a scout, but I'm pretty sure that I can clear 2 with the attack that I use.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a max down on 13, so I'm gonna need to use power potion and hero potion. So, I mean, it'll be the same as last war. I'll need to do both my attacks at the same time,
But
like together.
it's gonna be rough though to try and plan that if you're wanting me to hit at certain points in time.
Well, no, I'm thinking. I mean, you're gonna have to hit 1 either way.
What? Why do I have to hit 1? That's a stupid base. That's a base that if you had that wizard blimp thing would just gut out the core.
That's what I said when we were talking about it.
I can identify the base, I just can't do it.
You are nowhere near ready for that attack, though. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would just completely gut out all the heavy eternity.
She's pointing out that would be a good base for that. Well, no kidding. You're not ready, though.
Oh, goodness. So why do you think I'm the well-suited for that base?
Because I think just a ground attack, I think that... Well, because you like witches as well. So, with the single infernos, I think that your attack would work better for that base. And I mean, you use Yetis as well. And I mean, even the super witches with the big boys. I do feel like your attack strategies would work better on that base.
So, do you want me to hit 1 at some point?
Yes.
Like, or am I waiting for somebody?
Well, no, I did say everyone across except for the one guy.
No, but I mean, like, do you want me to actually start prepping for what?
Well, what I want, ideally, is the 11s to hit today, and then I can assign, like, if they clear soon enough, then I can get the 11s to scout. That way we can have a scout for 1 and 2, and then from there we can decide which base is going to be... I think, if any... Well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would like to think that I could clear number 2.
If you clear number 2, then that means you can hit number 1 and I can clear number 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, like, the attack strategy that I use is better suited for base number 2, and the attacks that you use are better suited for number 1.
The attacks that I use are not suited for anything but the bin. Okay. Right. So enough about planning our own wars. What was...
But I mean, we are talking about our war, and I mean, just again, this war, we're outmatched. They've got 2 max Town Hall 13s at the top, max heroes, max everything. They've got a max Town Hall 12 as well, with almost max heroes, and then they've got 3 11s, and the rest is just equal with what we have. So those 4 Town Hall 11...
No, they have more Town Hall 7s down below. They've, stacked the deck for their...
But they've got that extra max Town Hall 12, which, I mean, let's face it, there aren't very many wars ever where we come out ahead.
No, and I think that's why in a previous episode you and I were like, I think we've got an advantage, and we were quite shocked. But yeah, generally we get the raw end of the stick. But yeah. Okay. What's next on the agenda?
Armies, troops that you like using, don't like using. Let's start with you.
What? Why are we starting with me?
Because. Because I said so.
Oh, right, okay. What's the question?
What troops do you like using? What armies do you like using? What troops do you not like using? And what armies do you not like using? And just for even people in our clan, like people wanting to go to another town hall, what are good armies for them to be using if you know? What are armies you would wish they would stay away from, kind of thing, if there's any?
I guess for our clan, I don't have a preference as to what they know or don't know. I would, it's more of a general observation that I would like them to have more than one army in their pocket, and to be able to, then identify which army is best for which base, and that's why I'd rather. This is why it's hard because they go down the master of one route, or generally okay on all other, with on across a variety of strategies. I don't necessarily want someone to be one way or the other, because I do think you do need to have some people that are, I guess, specialists in some, so that come the time where the war general assigns things, if they know that that person's particularly good at something, let's say like Lalo or something like that, and that base is set for Lalo and is very defensive against ground, for example, then the war general can assign the right person to that base. But then you do need people that are flexible and are, I guess, equally skilled in different armies, because otherwise it makes it a hard job for the war general, because you're running out of plays to assign bases to people. What I think, what I think in terms of our clan struggles with is not so much. Well, I mean, they're trying to have more than one strategy down in their toolbox, but what I think they sort of struggle a little bit with is base identification. They don't always pick the right things for that base that they've been assigned. They might choose the right army, be it the hybrid and whatnot, but then they don't apply it very well at the base, or it's not a base that's best suited for it, because someone else might be better for it, and I know that they do know how to use that alternate attack strategy. So I think base identification could be improved rather than attack armies. I mean, well, it's just like similar for me. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, you could do this and this and this, but doesn't mean that I can actually do it. So there's a balance of things. And I think also, again, it's harder for me to help a lot of the, let's say, Town Hall 9s or 10s. And 11s is better, but because it's been years for some Town Halls since I've played, that I don't have actual working experience of them anymore. The metas have changed. New things have been introduced, so my experience is vastly outdated on it. So, yeah, that's going down a different rabbit hole. But yeah, generally, obviously, I see that you've been on a sort of propaganda sort of spree with your hybrid, and have mentored a couple of hybrid attackers, and they're all falling down that road. So I mean, I think that's a good sign, though, that you're sharing your knowledge and whatnot, and actually some of it's been paying off.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why I kept on suggesting it to these people was because they used to use hogs. And for me, when I used to use hogs and then got into miners and then found out, oh my god, like this hybrid, combine the two, it was such an easy transition because I had already used hogs, because I had already used miners, and now it was just combining the two. So that's why I kept on saying, especially to the ones that are now using it more and more, because they've all admitted to using hogs, and then they stopped.
I'd like to say that using hogs does not mean that you can use miners.
No, it doesn't. But like I said, you put the heal spell down, and that's where the miners are supposed to be.
No. And I think that leads me on to my response to the other question, which is, what army do I not like at all? Which would be miners. Any variant of miners, be it in hybrid or straight up miners, what have you. I don't like them. Because there's already so much going on in an attack, right? You've got bombs exploding everywhere, tornado traps whirling around, shockwaves of stuff happening, and in the rubble you're supposed to see where these miners are going. It's just, and it's not like and I think what you said is true in that you get a rough feeling of where they're gonna go after a while, after you use them, umpteen times. You get a gut feeling of the heal spell should be here.
Well,
But I don't like that.
But it's creating the funnel too, right? Because if you clear all the stuff on the side with a king or a siege barracks, then you know that there's buildings and there's defenses. They're going to be targeting both, so you know that they're going to be in that middle
in that area at some point in time, and they might pop up from the ground before your heal spell disappears. So I don't, that's too, it's a bit wishy-washy for me. I like to see things where they think they, I like that visual feedback. You can see that they're on the ground, but I don't know where they're burrowing to next. Technically you should be able to tell because, they just go to the nearest building. But,
I don't know how you can't see, because I can see when they pop up, and then you can see the dirt kicking up when they're going in a certain direction.
But it's the fact that you don't know how many of them there is.
I guess. Yeah.
Right? It could be a small 2 or 3, or it could be your main core. If they split up, you're doomed. Which one do you heal first? But I guess that's just their pathing issues. But there's not a lot of visual feedback. It is very hard to see them sometimes. And I'm not playing on a massive iPad or anything. I'm just using sometimes my phone. Right? So, and I don't know. I just don't like I think they should be here, so I'm going to drop a spell here. Deal. So I don't like miners. Never got used to them. Yeah. Unless I don't even do the events with them. I might drop them at some point, if I have to. But it's going to be part of my core army, and they'll be sent to their death.
And what about armies that you do like, that you tend to use for war, or do you have a go-to army that you like to use specifically? Or I know that you cook the army to the base, but is there something that you think, I like using this troop and I'm good with it, how can I incorporate it into attack for this base?
No. I don't have a favourite army. I go through phases where I think, I'm just going to try this. I don't have a favourite army. I am more of a ground attacker. I'll fully admit that. I'm not very, I think when people think air, they think loons. So I'm not very good lunar. But I do like dragons. I've always liked dragons since 10.07. It's just depending on how viable they are. And I do like air. It just, obviously, sometimes there's different sort of learning curve for air, I think. Obviously, you see a lot of the pro players are using loons, which is probably, I think we've always said, if you're ever good at leveling or whatever kind of loon strategy, you're there, right? And I'm not there at all. But Yeah, I do like dragons, but I favour ground because I favour ground in war because I have more control over them in war. Put it that way, because sometimes I predominantly do like queen walks and queen charges and things like that, but I don't, and I think that ground complements that. I veer off into three heroes, but then that makes me uncomfortable because it's always everything's gone, but I don't have clean up, and you always think about Queen cleaning up sometimes if she doesn't wander off. But yeah, I'm a ground attacker. I like ground troops. Are there particular armies that I use? You know that I like to use the P.E.K.K.A.s. It depends. I go through phases. I like witches sometimes. I don't have a particular preference for what I use. I do use bowlers, for that chain damage. Sorry, the bounce damage. But yeah, I'm haven't incorporated a lot of the super troops in my attacks. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, I think it does. Yeah.
I like to see when I'm in war. I like to see what the base is, and then I think, okay, what should I use? Like, what's the best way to do that attack for it, and what actually can I do? I'm not gonna use the super wizard blimp, even though that I know that that's the best way to hit that base. But I'll see. Okay, what do I need? How many? But I can tell you that my spells generally never change. Unless I'm using air.
I know.
Because, so I'll do 2 jump, 2 rage, 2 freeze, 1 poison, right?
I know.
Because somebody keeps taking the mick about my record never reaching the town hall, so that's what my jumps are for, Jen. Sometimes, on occasion, I might swap out a jump for an extra rage.
Are there any armies that you see opposing teams use that you dislike them using against us? Be it the current meta or, anything like that.
I don't feel as strongly as you on these things. They're gonna use an attack that they feel comfortable with and that they've had a lot of success on. So I can't blame them for that. I would do that for war as well. I'm not there to be fancy pants and look at my fancy attack. I'm there to get stars, right? So I don't have as much of an, I guess, negative view of that. What do I don't like people hitting my base with? And again, it's base dependent. I think it's not so much what I don't like them hitting me with. It's more, is the thing balanced? Because when things are like updates come out and things are crazily overpowered for one thing, and then that's what they're using, and that has, like you said, there's no, if it's so overpowered that there's no skill at all in it, then that's a little bit annoying, right? Because it's almost, if you're not trying, I guess is what I would say. But I think that relates then nicely onto your answers to these things because because you do not particularly like armies that fall under the spam kind of umbrella. But why don't you define what you think a spam attack is first? Because I will say, you use the hybrid attack and that's like got lots of the same troop in one army.
It is, but it's not spam. And okay, what I consider spam is if you don't have to set a funnel, if you just drop a line of troops and away you go, that's spam. For me, that's spam. And in particular, the clan that we faced last war, that is all the guy did. One row of giants, one row of witches, one row of bowlers, and away he went. That is spam. That is no skill. That is just throw your troops down. That's spray and pray. That's all that is. And for him to get every single base 3-starred with that attack, it was annoying to watch. Because...
But were you annoyed that he was successful with it, and were you particularly annoyed at him, or just the fact that the game is not balanced in that way?
I was annoyed that spam is what he was using to 3-star bases. Because some people spend hours putting, making sure that defenses are in the right places for, current meta attacks that are strong, and you're making sure, you're testing bases and stuff like that. And then you get somebody like that who sprays and prays and can 3-star like nothing. Like, it's annoying to watch, knowing that all your hard efforts trying to defend, Lavaloon or Hybrid or, something else is just wasted with somebody that doesn't have any skill, just drops a line of troops and away, and the 3-stars. Like, that's not fun for me. That's not fun to watch. That wouldn't be fun for me to play, because for me, it's developing skills. It's recognizing, okay, I've got to do a queen charge here to get the funnel set, and then I'm going to drop something here to get the other funnel, and then,
But isn't that more, should be directed towards the game, Supercell, what have you, rather than the player itself?
No, because I think that's laziness on a player's end. If you can't even take the time to learn how to properly funnel or do any other attack, then
but if it works, if it wins you wars.
Like I said, that's how they choose to play. That's not fun for me. So I would never do that. And I don't like that we have a specific Town Hall 10 in our clan that all he uses is Witch Slap. That's what he used at Town Hall 9. That's all he used at Town Hall 10. When new Town Hall 9s come into the clan, that's the army that he suggests to them. And I don't like that, because it's a spam attack. And it takes
you can still fail with Witch Slap.
But I like to see people's skills develop before they learn spam attacks. Because spam,
do you need to learn an attack that's spam? Is there even a learning element to that?
Well, but the problem that I have with him suggesting that is once they use it and realize how strong it is and how much effort they don't have to put into thinking about an actual attack, just throwing down troops and away they go and they can 3-star, I find that people don't want to try other armies because, this one works. This is what I'm going to use. It's getting me 3-stars. And they're happy with that. Whereas I don't like that. I would rather see somebody trying an army and, failing with it, but getting better at it and learning a skill.
But again, I can only say this because I'm a 13. Because I'm near the top of the map, I don't have as much leeway to experiment certain things. I need to use an army that I think will give me the best result.
Right.
Okay, so I don't have that sort of
leeway.
Then
how come you don't use that row of giants, row of witches, row of bowlers?
Well, what if I chose to do that? Are you gonna give me grief?
I would think that you were just spamming troops, yeah.
But if I give you 3-stars, then really...
If that's how you want to get them, that's up to you. Like I said, that would not be fun for me. So you will never see me using that type of an army. It just, like I said, after watching that war, it's obvious. Every single Town Hall level, that army will work for and completely crush a base.
Well,
and I mean,
depends on your
some
CC
pretty
as
good
well.
bases. Like we've got bases that have stood the test of time. Like we've got good bases in war, and they were absolutely crushed with that spam attack. So knowing that, I would think, okay, well, all I have to do is spam attack, and we could have a 36 win streak, or we could have a 40 win streak.
Yeah, at the same time, you could also build a base that defends against that. That's the whole point of the game, in that, you know, you can't build a base that defends against everything.
You can't build a base that defends against that kind of spam.
Your base defended.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, it's possible. All I'm saying is, if you knew that that's the attack he was going to use, then in theory you could build a base that would defend against that attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that our bases are not set for defending that attack, because we are normally hit by people that are playing the game a little bit differently. So.
And I mean, I shouldn't get so upset. I mean, the odds of us getting an entire spam clan like that it does not happen very often. So I mean, it was a rarity, but to see them almost win.
Well, not even them, just him.
Well, him, yeah. But for us to lose a war streak because of spam, it would not have sit well with me. It really wouldn't.
Well, good thing we bet them then.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we were almost gonna lose, and that's my. It's not so much a troop in particular. I mean, I don't like witches. It probably because I've never been good with witches, but I don't like them.
Wait. So you say that witches is a spam attack and there's no skill, and you.
No. I was just getting into that. I'm saying I don't like witches. I don't like them because I was never really good with them. Because, like I said, a spam attack didn't interest me, and it seemed like witches were the easiest spam attack when I was Town Hall 9. I never used them at Town Hall 9 because that wasn't the way that I wanted to play. Mm-hmm. And there are other, like, you can spam drags. Like I said, for me, spamming is dropping everything in a line, and that's it. And then 3-starring like that. There are people that spam dragons. There are people that spam E-drags. There are people that spam miners. There are people that spam witches. It's spam is spam.
But you could have learned witches in a non-spam way.
No.
So you're saying the only viable way to use witches is in a spam way?
No, I don't like witches. I don't. Even in Town Hall 10. I mean, yes, there was the bowler attack that, you put a couple witches behind your bowlers, but your bowlers was your main force. The witches were just there to spawn a couple of skellies to distract things. Mm-hmm. It was never the main force of an army, and that was because I don't like witches. I never used an army that had a main force of witches because I don't like witches.
So, but you're saying, because I use witches.
You don't like miners, I don't like witches. It's just, that's the way it is.
But you're saying that I should use witches on number 1.
Because you use witches in your Yeti attack, in your super witch attack. Like, you've used them before. I don't know if you like them, but you've used them before. And you've been successful with them.
I know, but then you just become just a dirty spammer.
You're putting words in my mouth because I haven't said that.
So, what troop do you like? As in, what army do you like?
I've always liked hogs, and that will never change. And like I said, when I got to Town Hall 10, when I was upgrading to Town Hall 11, right at the end of Town Hall 10, I started trying minors, and I really enjoyed that. So Town Hall 11 was basically all minor attacks. I did use hogs as well, but I found that it was easier for me to funnel a base with my queen charge and with the king on the outside. This was before siege machines, I think, as well. So it was easy for me to do a queen charge to cut out a section of the base, and then to drop my king on the outside to funnel the outside, and then you could still have your miners going through. And like I said, I mean, now I know, like, I can see the miners where they're going. I mean, back then, I joke about it, but I mean, it was like, okay, I've got both sides funneled. This is where the miner should be, so this is where I'm putting the heal. Like, this is where the holes are in the base. This is where the splash is going to hit. This is where I want the heal. And now, I mean, like I said, I can see where they're going, so, you know, you can't, especially with hybrid, because you've got hogs going to defenses, miners going to everything, you can't specifically put it somewhere and be like, okay, I'm going to get everything. You have to put it in the general area, I think, of where you're going to get most of everything, just based on which troop is going to which building. And that's why I liked hybrid, because it combined, you know, my favorite troop, hogs, and I was good with miners. So, like I said, when, you know, just put them both together, it was like, how did I not think of this myself? Kind of thing. And I mean, I know that it's successful at Town Hall 10 because I have one, and the fact that I can 3-star and not almost max, but I have 3-starred and like a near max Town Hall 11 with hybrid as a Town Hall 10. So I know that the army is strong. I did the same thing as a Town Hall 12 when Town Hall 13 first came out. You know, there was a couple 13s that I took out. I know the attack is strong, and I know that it's strong from Town Hall 10 up. So that's why, you know, if anyone in the clan is looking to learn new armies and they've used hogs, that's why I'm going to suggest for them is hybrid, because it's an attack that you can use all the way up. And I mean, even looking at the metas that are out there right now, hybrid isn't talked about, but every single time I watch a video, it's hybrid is still strong. Hybrid is still strong. Hybrid is it's underlooked. It's still strong. It's still strong, and it is.
Yeah, it is. I'm not debating that. I think you do.
I think I need to use different armies because that seems to be my go-to army and whatnot. But I mean, I have been, like, especially with the Icehound event, and when it, I think it came out one other time. I mean, as soon as I could get that, I was trying, and I mean, I still do. Every so often, I'm just raiding with air, and I'll just raid with Lavaloon. I've been trying my Invisa Queen, my Hisui heroes with the invisible spell into Lavaloon. Like, I've still been trying to get that to work. So, I mean, I'm still trying to branch out, but hybrid is definitely my go-to army for war because, like I said, I've used Hawk since Town Hall 7, Miner since Town Hall 10, and it's just, I know the movements of the troops, and that's what I'm most confident with when I'm hitting in war.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yes, that could be the argument for the spammers. Maybe they started spamming at Town Hall 10 as well, and that's why he's still using it all the way to Town Hall 13, because that spam attack worked for him all the way. I mean, good for him. But
I do think that you do like to try the new methods more than I do. You're a bit more open to trying new things. I probably tend to acknowledge that there's a new meta that the pro players are using and whatnot, and I'll have fun watching them, but I'm not someone that's going to be like, I'm going to try that exact composition and try and get it to work, mainly because I think that the pro players, that composition works for them because they are pro players. So I feel like there should be some buffer for, the average person that's like, okay, well, he's only taking X amount of things. I'm going to need like 10 times more.
Absolutely. And I mean, when I'm saying hybrid, I mean, it's just the miner hog combo. I mean, I look at all the people like when I'm watching videos and whatnot, the ones that they're doing hybrid, they don't take an ice golem, they don't take this, or they don't take that, whereas I do, because that's what works for the way that I developed, you know, my attack strategy with it.
And that's what I would like. I would like people in the clan, if they want to try something new, they need to find the way that it works for them.
Yeah.
Which is why
And
sometimes I struggle when you give them compositions, and they just take it straight off. They don't think, actually, I'm going to tweak it until I find it that it works.
And that's what I tried saying to the 11s when they were learning. And because some of them were, like, they were using hybrid, but some of the army combos they were using, it's like, okay, like, try not to criticize. They're trying to find their own, you know, their own combo. And, you know, if that wasn't working, it was like, you know, for some bases, I said, some bases I use this, and some bases I know that I don't need that, so I don't take it, and I take another one of these, and, you know, stuff like that. So, but I do want to say that I do want to get into more drag attacks as well, just because I do think that the bat spells, the drag bat is definitely base dependent, depending on where you've got your splash and, you know, where your scatters are and stuff like that. But I do want to start getting into more of that, because I do enjoy using dragons. When we did that Queen Charge Quadquake, you know, that was quite fun learning that and getting that to work. So I do definitely want to try the bat spells with dragons and see if there's, you know, some kind of combo that I can drum up with that, and that's a little bit different than everybody else's, and whatnot.
I do like the ones that are still meta but not as commonly used. I tend to lean towards those ones. I think it's more not so much because I don't want to use what everyone's using kind of thing, but more because I think that if I become competent in it, then I have better chance of being matched against a base that's probably not ready for that one, as in it's not defensively built for it, because it's more defensively built for one of the popular strategies. So that's why I like to veer off the common path, I guess, for it. Okay, so was there something else we were going to talk about? A brief update on the experiment? How's the experiment going?
Brief. Well, the latest is somebody broke her phone, so we had to delay searching for a war for one day.
Well, don't you have enough attacks to, you know, cover for me?
We did.
Not like I got any stars in the last war, I'm just saying.
There was 2 people that didn't get any stars in the last war.
So, and you still won, you said, so, you know, it's not, I'm just the third wheel.
We did win. We have been winning or tying the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 wars. 2 wars ago, I will say this, what did I say, the last 14 wars? The last 12 wars, we had 12 wars in a row that were absolutely perfect, 100%. And I mean, let's be honest, Town Hall 6 and Town Hall 7, not that hard to do, right?
Yeah, but I think we should just clarify that, you know, we're not taking any CCs that are...
Nope, this is all our own CC troops, what we can cook. The clan is a level 9 clan, so we do get the 1 troop level bonus. When we donate, that's all that we get, but we are taking Town Hall 7 troops, only what we can cook. So 12 wins in a row, we were perfect. And then someone had a brain fart, and I couldn't get my hogs to work on number 1, the second last war here, and our other Town Hall 7 couldn't get his drags to work that particular war, and so we ended up with 14 stars that war, kind of negating our streak of perfect wars, which right now that's a sore thumb that I'm always looking at, because we had all those hundreds in a row. But for the last 14 wars, we have been undefeated. We've had a few ties in there as well, from clans that are using max CC troops, which is kind of disappointing. But you can't help how they play. And last war, I think, was it last war or the war before? It was just a guy who dropped dragons in the corner and then dropped his spells wherever and 3-starred. And for me, that's annoying because you spend so long trying to get a good base and all they do is spam them in the corner and 3-star. And you know as well, we do not accept those kind of attacks when people show what they can do before they get into war. They need to show us what they can do. And you know that we do not accept those attacks because that is spam.
I know that you don't accept those attacks.
I know that you don't either because we both know that they would never get away with that in war once the CC comes out and destroys all their dragons.
I may or may not accept them, but then I say you have to hit one of our bases, and then they find that actually they don't do very well. So, yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but like you said, you can't affect how they're playing. But okay, so I mean, I will just also clarify that even though I broke my phone, you're probably wondering why can't I just play it on my other devices? Because I haven't logged into them at all, and they're all, I don't have Supercell ID. I don't know, you know what I'm like? I haven't bought the skins yet, even though I'm gonna. So I haven't logged into Supercell, even though it's for my own good. So yeah, that's why. There's no physical means apart from that phone. So if it ever went kaput, it's doomed. So I really should probably sign into some sort of email address with that one, and so that I can at least sign in to another device, I think, at some point, and then if that same thing happens, at least I shall have it. I know that my 13 is connected to my email address, so at least I know that if I'm not gonna lose that one at any point. But no, I haven't used the Supercell ID more because I never had to, because I've only ever had the one account. There's no switching. And just because I haven't. But are you still... Because you're Town Hall 7 now, so you're having all the fun, whereas I'm still Town Hall.
No, I was just going to say, I think you're a max Town Hall 6 now, and Town Hall 7, I think I'm pretty close defense-wise. I think I've still got my cannons, my mortars, my wizard towers left. My Teslas are done, my archer towers are done, my air defenses are done. I still have bombs, like my other smaller traps. I think my my collectors are all done. But holy hell, is it hard to get Dark Elixir!
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I'm getting a heck of a lot of Dark Elixir, Jen.
Well, I'm not.
Where does it go? Nowhere.
Right now, my king is only 3. I want to get him to level 5 so I can have the ability. But it's just so hard getting Dark Elixir.
Well, I've been max for a long while now, so... And there's no imminent sign that I'll be going to Town Hall 7 yet, because the last time someone didn't have hogs to give me, so...
What?
Well, you said once you get hogs, then, I might be able to do...
My hogs are only level 1! So you'd only be getting puny level 2s, because I can't get enough Dark Elixir to upgrade my hogs!
Or you're just wasting it on your king, Jen. How selfish is that?
Look, I've got 2,900 Dark Elixir. My king is still level 3. He's like...
So you've put 2 levels of the king in that you could have saved for your hogs to give to me.
I thought getting my king up to defend my base was a priority. And I'm doing... But I had enough regular elixir, so I put my rage in. So... But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some dark... I think because now, as a Town Hall 7, I get the season pass at the bottom. So I'm getting all the free stuff right now. And I think I just collected... the only reason I did my king was because I was able to collect the 10,000 dark elixir and put them down.
Yeah. Not put your hogs down.
And I need 100 more, and I get to 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get that, I'll put my hogs down.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Jen, thanks.
Because my lab will be coming up. But our current war situation right now, the clan that we're facing is a request and leave clan. And they've got a Town Hall 8 at the top.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of match did you run?
A Town Hall 8 with max air defenses. And everything else looks like it's level 1. So it'll be ground for that. The only thing that sucks is he's going to have skellies. And he's got the extra CC space. So he's got 25 space. So
you're saying we're screwed?
We might be screwed, yeah. Yeah. It's all these max Town Hall 6s that are pulling in extra weight at the top now, I think. Because I think the one guy at the bottom is pretty close as well to maxing out Town Hall 6.
I don't think that's enough to pull an 8. Although if he's just rushed, then
yeah, no, he is. He's got level 1 archer towers and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's where we are with our little guys.
Okay.
We were worried in the beginning that the warlog was going to look quite red, but we've only actually had the one loss.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me personally to not care as much about the wars, just because it's been ingrained that I want to win the wars, you know. So it's been a journey to let that go. But it's been great that I've not been at the top of the map. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, someone will cover me. So that bit I enjoy. But it was hard for me to not care so much. Okay. If we covered everything?
I think we did.
Okay, so can't fix stupid. I think this happened a while back. I don't know if I've spoken about it, but you'll have to remind me and say you've talked about it and think of another one. But we had this Town Hall 9 come in, and he was, we asked him, you know, show us what you can do and whatnot, versus a Town Hall 9, right? And he, you know, obviously he was all puffing his chest and saying, you know, I'm a great attacker. I'll give you, I get 6 stars in every war, kind of thing. You know, he's got a whole bravado going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, show me, right? And then, and you know, they always say, put me in war and you won't regret it. And I'm like, well, show me before I put you in war, so I don't regret it, you know. So then I noticed he was using the whole zap drag thing, right? And I'm like, okay, so you're using your troops, you know, make sure that the expos are facing up and the base that you're hitting. And he's like, I'm an excellent attacker, you know, stop telling me how to attack. And I'm like, I'm not, I'm telling you what you need to do. And he's like, I can 3-star any base, you know, stop telling me how to attack. And I'm like, how am I telling you how to attack? Okay, and because, and I'm like, I don't understand. So I'm just going to ignore him, right? And carry on with my clash life there. And so he then shows this replay, and obviously the expos are at ground, you know, so obviously it's just that much easier if you're using air. And I'm like, the expos are on ground, you know, and he's like, yeah, stop telling me how to attack. And I'm like, I'm not telling you how to attack, right? I'm telling you that what I'm looking for is that these replays, you know, your expos need to be up. And like, see, that's what you're doing. You're telling me how to attack. So I'm like, I don't think that's what I'm telling you how to do. So, long story short, it didn't work out for him. Because he had his fit because I was telling him how to attack. And he was like, you're telling me how to attack. I know how to attack. I'm a great attacker. Stop telling me how to attack. And then he left. And I'm like, Jen, was I telling him how to attack?
No, you were telling him what he needed to attack, not how.
I was just like, I think, we had the other co-on, he was like, dude, he's not telling you how to attack, it's just like, what? And he just didn't get it. And apparently, it was just not happening that time. And for me, there's only...
You were telling him how to attack the bases that he wanted. You were telling him he had to attack certain bases, and he didn't like that.
Yeah, but apparently, he's
I'm a 3-star god against these bases.
yeah. They're dead. Oh yeah, that's because he showed a different replay and it was a dead base. And I'm like, that's a dead base. Like, stop telling me how to attack. So yeah. But I see that you've been having success with, what I find out about people joining and not knowing that we're a war clan. I see you've been using the phrase that I've now used to shortcut conversations with people that always say, because I was invited. That's why you joined. Which, every time they say that, to me, I'm like, okay, so I should send all the phishing emails to you about the billionaire that needs to send money to his dead wife or something like that. Can I have your bank account details? You're special. But yeah, no, you've been using that, and I've seen it work a couple of times. So
I haven't been cursed out in a while, so it's been nice. It's like, why did you accept to join the invite into a war clan then?
Yeah, and then they just leave.
Anything, they just leave. It's so nice. They just leave.
You're like, yes, that's an extra 5 seconds to my day, and I don't have to deal with you. But I mean, that is the point. It's an invitation. It's not you've been called up for war duty kind of thing. You're not conscripted into the clan. You do have a choice, and that's why you should check things out before you choose to join. So yeah, still recruiting, I guess. But
I still gotta say that there is none as good as the drag loon slap guy. That is still the top of my list.
Oh, your can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we'll find another corker somewhere. Just I don't know.
If somebody else comes up with a weird strategy like that, I'll be like, oh yeah, that must be like drag loon slap. Or I'll say to them, have you tried drag loon slap?
Okay, so we're coming up to now 20. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yes. So next episode we will probably talk about clan games, most definitely, because that will have started. They hadn't released the rewards yet, so that's why we didn't touch upon that. We will see how long our streak goes. We're currently at 15. We'll see how many more we can get.
For another 18 hours?
What's that?
You mean it's going to last for probably another 18 hours?
Yeah, probably. And hopefully I did not stress my dissatisfaction or whatever. They did not compensate me for that gold rune that they took away in last clan games, because there was no special stuff all this week. They can say it all they want. The events that were put on were probably events that were going to be on anyway, so they gave us nothing special. So I am bitter about that still.
What was that word you used? What was that word?
Dissatisfaction.
I don't think that's what you said.
I think it is. I don't think that's a word though. But anyway, we'll talk about that. The clan games, leagues will be in and around that time. They will not have started, but they will be starting, so we can talk about how excited we are for that. And hopefully we'll have some new recruits, because like you just said, we're sitting at under 15 people, so we can't even have another 15 more, because...
To be fair, I have recruited several people since we last spoke.
We have opened up to another town hall. So, we should get some new ones by next week. And hopefully they'll be War League ready and whatnot. But that's where we're going to end it today. And we will...
Before we end it, I just want to say that you jinxed us because you said you're going to aim for a short one.
I know.
Just never say that. Never say it until it happens.
All right. Well, we're going to cut it short right now then.
Okay, bye.
Bye.